Can my ex sell our family home without my consent? There's lots of different scenarios here, and I'll briefly try and take you down the various routes. If your family home is owned in your joint names, then you both need to consent, agree to what happens to it when you separate, whether one of you will keep that or whether it will be sold. And if your ex was then wanting to do something different, so you want to keep your house, for example, but your ex wants to sell it, your ex would have to go to court and get a court order, and you'd be able to defend that, and you would take advice about that. So in short, if it's in joint names, it's got to be a joint decision what happens to the family home on a separation. If title to the house is in your ex's name only, it's still your family home. If you're married, it's got a significant status. It's called the matrimonial home, and you have a right to occupy that as the spouse. And then if your ex is then going to go and sell that house without your cooperation, consent or notice, then you have an opportunity to say, no, that can't happen because I've got my occupancy rights. And it gives you time to negotiate then what that looks like in terms of, am I staying in the house? If it's going to be sold, what are my financial claims in the house, etc. And particularly where you have children, young children living in the house, that's another defence to your ex insisting on selling it in such a scenario. If you're not married, and the house is in your ex's name only, and you've been living together, obviously, you're what we call cohabitants in the law, and you would still be able to establish a right to occupy that house if there was a suggestion that your ex was simply going to go ahead and sell the property after the relationship ended. And there's many defences to that too, and in particular, again, if there's young children that need that home to remain there after separation until you adjust and work out where else you can live. A family solicitor can look at all the nuances and the different scenarios with you, and you should take advice quickly about that if you find yourself in that situation.